Paulie Veneto left Boston for New York City on August 21st, not on a flight, but on foot, pushing an airline beverage cart. The former flight attendant is making the journey to honor flight crews who lost their lives 20 years ago on September 11th.
That's my goal, is to make sure every one of these family members that are related to these flight attendants and pilots hear the message that we all recognize what they did that day was very heroic. For 20 years, these kids going to school, nobody's ever come up to them and said, you know, your mother was a hero, or your father, or your brother, whoever was a crew member. Nobody's ever said that to them. So, you know, that's my purpose. They were the first responders of 9/11.
The retired flight attendant hopes to get to One World Trade Center by 9/11. He knew his gesture had to be big to gain attention, and along the way, he's gotten a ton of it.
Say it all the time, I'm just a guy pushing the cart, that's all. And I'm okay with that. I push the cart, and everybody else wants to take pictures with me, and I know they share it with their families and friends, and it's sharing it, and the word is getting across this country, and guess what? It's reaching these crew members' families. I know it is.
Paulie became a flight attendant in 1981. On the night of September 10th, 2001, he landed back home in Boston. The next day, he was off.
You know I was in shock, obviously. When I found out it was 175, I knew them. It was a surreal feeling. It was an out-of-body experience, I guess. I knew my life at that point was never going to be the same.
After 9/11, Paulie fell into a drug addiction. He said this year he finally felt healthy enough to walk more than 200 miles to New York City. He said he didn't plan for this gesture honoring his friends to land on the 20th anniversary, but it was a perfect storm.
You know, that's why I wear the miracle shirt all the time, because it was a miracle that I come out of that whole horrible place I ended up in. When I roll that cart into ground zero, I'll be 6 years off the opiates on that day.
Not only can followers track Paulie's journey online and meet up with him on the road, but he also encourages people to donate. He said half the money will go to foundations honoring crew members who lost their lives, and the other half goes to Power Forward, which helps people in addiction recovery.
I know how important this was, and maybe it was them up there that gave me this idea. I don't know. You know, something just told me that this is what I had to do.
Caitlin O'Kane for The Uplift.